Good morning, and welcome to the 2020 DeKalb Lawyers Association's Scholarship Breakfast. My name is Charles W. Simmons. I'm the 35th president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. I have been honored to serve as a president for these past 18 months, but what brings me the most pride is this event we put on today. I'd like to publicly thank our Scholarship Breakfast Committee for all the hard work that they've done to put this event on. Now, in the past, we've had this event in May, and we've had it in person. However, due to COVID concerns, we've been forced to move it to the virtual format. But nonetheless, the intentions of the program remain the same: to recognize achievement and to recognize scholarship. To all the law students who are receiving awards today, congratulations. Today is your day. Your hard work is now being recognized. We look forward to investing in you as a DLA member possibly in the future, and nonetheless as a member of the legal community. Keep pushing forward, and you've deserved this day. Congratulations. Now, to all the donors and sponsors and all those who have contributed to this, thank you. Without your contributions, this isn't possible. I'd like to specifically thank a few people. Our title sponsor, Deborah DeBerry, the clerk of Superior Court, thank you for your contribution, as well as more sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Judge Bedelia Hargrove of Probate Court, Judge Mike Jacobs of State Court, as well as District Attorney Sherry Boston. Your contributions are much appreciated. Without further ado, I'd like to move us into this program. I hope that you enjoy what we have for you today. And once again, thank you all for coming. Your support of DLA is much appreciated. Have a great day, and I can't wait to meet you all. The law students can't wait to meet you all in person, and everyone else, I can't wait to see you again in person.
I am Jeanette McIntosh Hopewell, a founding member, past president, and current executive board member of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. The DeKalb Lawyers Association was founded in DeKalb County in 1984 to promote the growth and development of minority attorneys and to strengthen the economic and social fiber of the community. Our membership is now multicultural, consisting of attorneys, judges, and law students who support our mission. Prior to the formation of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, the Gate City Bar Association and the Georgia Association of Black Women Attorneys were the only minority bar associations in the metropolitan Atlanta area, and they were formed by attorneys who primarily lived and practiced law in the city of Atlanta. However, in the early 1980s, the landscape in and around the DeKalb County Courthouse was very different, and there was a unique and specific set of needs that were not being met by those organizations. Consequently, a small group of attorneys came together to form a minority bar association in DeKalb County, and the first meeting was held in the home of Michael Hancock, who, as the chief judge of DeKalb Recorder's Court, was DeKalb County's only African American judge. That group consisted of Michael Hancock, Robert Burrows, Marita Davis Johnson, Hank Johnson, Dwight Thomas, Dorothy Coppridge, and myself. Subsequent meetings were held in the South DeKalb offices of Attorney Dorothy Coppridge, and as interest in forming a minority bar association and attendance continued to grow, the meetings were moved to the community center at South DeKalb Mall. The organization was incorporated in February of 1985. The initial officers were Michael Hancock, president, Robert Burrows, vice president, Marita Davis Johnson, treasurer, and myself as secretary.
Hello, I am Judge Gregory A. Adams, a Superior Court judge here in DeKalb County. I am also a past president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. I have been a member of DLA for more than 35 years. And during that period of time, I have met many individuals through DLA who have high moral character and a keen legal intellect. Matter of fact, many of those individuals assisted me when I ran for office many years ago. DLA has provided me with positive reinforcement, professional development, and a lot of good friends. I can say this, without the DeKalb Lawyers Association, there will be no Gregory A. Adams Juvenile Justice Center. I do want to thank all the members of DLA and their supporters.
Hello, my name is Philip Jackson. I was president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association in the 90s. I was admitted to the bar in 1989, and upon being admitted to the bar, I became a member of the DLA. Although it was small, I felt comfortable there. It was a way for me to network and to learn exactly how to be a lawyer. There weren't that many places where minorities could be comfortable and could grow and have leadership positions.
Hello, my name is Robert Burris. I had the pleasure of serving as the second president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. I have been asked to let you know in just a few minutes of what prompted me and the other founders of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, what led us to create this organization. First, let me say, in the early 80s, a lot of us were very involved with the Gates City Bar Association. The Gates City Bar Association, of course, was active in Fulton County and the city of Atlanta, but not so much in DeKalb County. As lawyers involved with the Gates City Bar Association, but living in DeKalb County, we began to feel that there was more of a need to address issues that were in DeKalb County, the county where we lived, more so than address the issues of the city of Atlanta and Fulton County, which of course was the primary emphasis of the Gates City Bar Association. Hence, we began to discuss that, and out of that discussion, we decided to form the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Congressman Hank Johnson. I've known Chuck Seeliger throughout my entire professional life. And Chuck, I just want to thank you for all that you've done for me personally. I want to thank you for your service to the community. I want to thank you for your contributions to the DeKalb Lawyers Association. And I want to wish you a long and prosperous and healthy retirement. You deserve it.
Judge Seeliger, 2020 has been an unprecedented year. But we could not let this year end without recognizing the mark that you have left on DeKalb County, the courts, and our criminal justice system. It has been an honor and a pleasure to learn from you, to serve in front of you, and to serve alongside of you as you have dedicated your career to making sure justice has been sought in the courts. And as the day of retirement comes for you, it's a sad day for us, for this community, to lose someone that has stood for justice for decades. But it is a wonderful time because I know that you deserve retirement to enjoy your family, your friends, and your continued service to this community. So it is with much respect and a lot of love that Judge Seeliger, I wish you well.
My name is Dwight Thomas. I was asked to give some comments on Judge Seeliger's impact to the legal profession. That impact starts in 1980 with me, when there were no other lawyers in the city of Decatur who would rent space to an African-American lawyer, and Chuck did. And that was the beginning of a great friendship, a great journey in the legal profession, a wonderful journey, and I wish him well.
It is said to make a good omelet, you have to break some eggs. Well, Judge Seeliger, over his esteemed career, has broken quite a few eggs. He has been a fearless judge. He's been a fair judge. He has never been intimidated by the powers to be, not from the time that he served as a state court judge, and this fearlessness continued throughout his service as a Superior Court judge. Judge Seeliger, again, as past president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, I'd like to thank you for your commitment to the DeKalb Lawyers Association, and I'd like to thank you for the service that you've given to DeKalb County over the last 40 years. Thank you very much.
To truly appreciate Chuck Seeliger, you need to travel in your mind's eye back to the 1980 DeKalb County Courthouse, just before he ran for judge. There were no black employees in the courtrooms or the court-related offices. There were only a handful of black attorneys willing to practice in the county. The chief judge of the state court was the notorious Oscar Mitchell, who controlled every aspect of the court and had a Confederate flag on his bench. The judge who illegally sent Martin Luther King to Reidsville State Prison in response to a sit-in in Atlanta based on an open probation case for a minor traffic offense. The judge handles all the calendars to keep the cases where he wants to favor or disfavor one side or the other, farming out the cases he's not interested in. He takes delight in making fun of black victims and defendants in open court during mass calendars and domestic violence cases. There are no advisements of rights for criminal defendants representing themselves. When Chuck first announced for running for judge, he could only find a couple of attorneys prepared to be publicly associated with his campaign. The Atlanta Constitution described his campaign as the political equivalent of a kamikaze mission. But this was not unfamiliar territory for Chuck. He had cut his political teeth as an advance man for Maynard Jackson's quixotic statewide campaign for the Senate against Herman Talmadge. When Chuck won, along with other reform candidates that year, the atmosphere in the courthouse, and particularly in the state court, immediately began changing. He hired the first black bailiff. The clerk's office followed suit. He signed an affidavit in support of threatened litigation to integrate the marshal's office. He ended the practice of routinely reducing DUIs. Other judges ultimately followed his lead. He became a first mover in treating domestic violence seriously and became the foremost statewide judicial advocate for battered women. Chuck continued to battle politically for judicial reform, both behind the scenes in helping other reformers, including myself, and in taking on the last survivor of the old regime in Superior Court, who retired after Chuck announced against him. There were many other notable aspects to his judicial career, including stopping the Presidential Parkway and establishing the principle that judges could mandate referral to mediation. Chuck never shied away from controversy, or for that matter, press attention in his career. But mostly I salute Chuck for his championship of fairness and inclusiveness in the judicial system and scrupulous protection of the rights of both defendants and victims in criminal cases. And I take pride in the role my wife and I played in launching his political career.
I'm here today to say congratulations to Judge Clarence F. Silliger. Judge Silliger has been on the bench for more than 40 years. I first met Judge Silliger back in 1984 when I was an assistant solicitor. Judge Silliger was very helpful in my career. Early on, he would give me positive feedback while I was trying cases. Judge Silliger also, in the early 80s, was the first judge to hire the first African-American bailiff in the DeKalb County State Court. He hired Mr. Nesbitt Thomas. Judge Silliger has always been a trailblazer, opening doors and being very inclusive of others. Judge Silliger has worked tirelessly to make sure the law is enforced fairly and justly to all. Matter of fact, earlier this year, Judge Silliger made a ruling that allowed for the removal of a Confederate monument that has stood on the Decatur Square for many, many years. Judge Silliger believes in equality. Judge Silliger is an excellent judge. He's an excellent partner with the DeKalb Lawyers Association, and for that, I say congratulations.
Hello, I'm Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson, and I am also a co-founder of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. I would like to take this opportunity today to salute my friend, the Honorable Clarence Silliger, for setting an example of decency through his career. When he became state court judge in DeKalb County, he broke the tradition of the good old boy system a system that was not equal for all. If you were white, you were right. And if you were black, you were expected to stand back. Judge Silica changed the system, first by hiring the first black bailiff in the courthouse, and secondly, by removing the Confederate flag from his courtroom. As a member of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, Judge Silica adhered to the principle, to whom much is given, much is required, by supporting the organization in its efforts to uplift and assist Black and other law students of color through scholarships and mentorships. Judge Silica will have a lasting legacy of goodwill, one of giving, sharing, and guidance. It is so ironic that Judge Silica came into the judiciary fighting racism and bigotry by upseating a sitting judge with questionable ethics. And he is ending his judicial career with a final order removing the Confederate monument at the old courthouse square in DeKalb County. What better legacy to leave? May your next chapter be as rich and as fulfilling as this chapter, and may you enjoy your retirement.
I want to thank the DeKalb Lawyers Association for making this tribute to me. I have served on the bench for about 40 years, and I remember when I first came on the bench going to a meeting of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. It was very small. Now it's a huge organization that does wonderful things, and it represents some of the finest lawyers that we have in this county who are in fact members of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. And it's a fund for leadership, political leadership in this county. After all, we have county commissioners who are members of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. We have a congressman who's one of the founding members of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, Hank Johnson. And we have many, many others who have done so much. But the thing I admire most about the DeKalb Lawyers Association is their assistance to young law students, African American law students going to law school. I've contributed some money to that, but it's very important because everybody who's ever gone to law school knows how difficult it is to get funding. There's not much in the way of scholarships. So these scholarships offered by the DeKalb Lawyers Association are absolutely invaluable in helping African American lawyers graduate and pass the bar and make their own contributions to our county. Again, thank you so much for your cooperation and for this tribute. I'm not sure I deserve it, but I have to say this, I have always admired the DeKalb Lawyers Association and will continue to do so, whether I'm still on the bench or when I'm off. Thank you again.
The Honorable Judge Penny Brown Reynolds is a legal icon. Judge Brown Reynolds is a nationally respected leader and highly dedicated public servant, scholar, educator, former jurist, and public policy and legal expert. She has been featured on CNN, HLN, NBC, Fox, PBS, and ABC. As the first African American in Georgia's history to serve as the governor's attorney and the first African American to serve as Chief of Staff and Executive Counsel to Georgia's Lieutenant Governor, Judge Brown Reynolds has served in all three branches of government. She has served as a former Assistant Attorney General, Assistant District Attorney, and as a law clerk on the Georgia Court of Appeals. She served for nearly a decade as a judge on the State Court of Fulton County, one of the youngest judges to ever be appointed. During her 25-plus year legal career, she has been honored by numerous bar associations and holds multiple honorary doctorates. She is the founding chair of the judicial section of the Gate City Bar Association, where she was inducted in the Hall of Fame for exemplary work as a judge. She is a best-selling author and an Emmy-nominated executive producer of her own television court series, Family Court with Judge Penny. She teaches criminal law and race and the criminal justice system at Georgia State University's Andrew Young School of Policy Studies, where she was named the Criminal Justice Department's 2020 Instructor of the Year. She prepares to defend her dissertation next month in completion of a PhD in criminal justice, holding a 4.0 GPA. Please extend your warmest welcome to our keynote speaker, the Honorable Judge Penny Brown Reynolds.
Greetings, members of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, members of the judiciary, family, and friends. We are gathered for this virtual experience to do what the DeKalb Lawyers Association has done for years, and that is to fight for justice while passing it on. It is indeed my honor and privilege to serve as your keynote speaker for today. Congratulations to the scholarship recipients and also to those fine lawyers who will be sworn into office for this great occasion to serve on the board of directors. Congratulations to my dear friend Chris Stewart as he receives the Legal Warrior Award. I want to take a moment of pride to congratulate attorney Erica Wilson as she is sworn in as the president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. It's a great day because it is the manifestation of a dream come true. Attorney Wilson, my mentee, dreamed of being a lawyer. She believed in herself and not only became a lawyer, but she is brilliant at what she does. She is a fierce advocate and an extremely hard worker. I swore her in as a lawyer, knowing that she would go on to do great things. I know better than most, as I am the founding chair of the Gate City Bar Association's judicial section. And it takes a lot to translate vision into reality. Attorney Wilson didn't just dream of success, she worked for it. And so this is the culmination of her working for it. Again, congratulations. The theme for this occasion is the year of restoration. Without fear of contradiction, 2020 continues to be a year like no other. We have witnessed the loss of loved ones to over 230,000, to an airborne pandemic, racism found in the electorate to policing, protests and prayers. But restoration symbolizes hope. Restoration, the act of restoring, renewal, revival, reestablishment, a return to something former, original, formal, and an unimpaired condition. What we have been through has allowed us to come together to have a much needed and long overdue discussion throughout America about what justice really is. We need this long overdue discussion in our schools, throughout the legal profession, in our families. How do we reimagine going forward with a vision of justice, fairness, and with the eradication of racism? I've been practicing law for over 25 years, and make no mistake about it, it was not easy then, and it isn't easy now. Serving as the first African American in this nation's history to serve as a lawyer for a governor, I don't have the time to tell you what I went through. But what I know is something changed inside of me. Because adversity brings about strength and power, and more than that, courage. I want you to understand, which is what reinforced it for me in the law, that I had to understand that in order for us to make it in America, it had to be about collaboration. And it had to be about listening to understand. This is a critical time for our profession, the legal profession. In a day and age where there is so much acrimony in our body politic, mistrust in the law, a criminal justice system in desperate need of reform, systematic racism in every system and area of our culture, and even contempt for the legal process. I believe that we all have a responsibility. I believe the DeKalb Lawyers Association and all Black bar associations and all bar associations throughout this country have a responsibility to justice, a responsibility to the promise of equal justice under the law. Justice is and has always been about equality. And as lawyers, regardless of our ideologies, our practice areas, places of employment, we all should believe in a nation of laws, and that nation of laws should apply those laws equally. I learned a long time ago that we should value the concept of fairness in the law. But more than that, we must also acknowledge and understand the value of perceived fairness. And unless everyone believes that our laws are equal and administered in an equal fashion, then we've missed the mark. And yes, we have. Tragically, George Floyd. Tragically, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Walter Scott, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, and all under our watch, all under equal justice under the law. There's so many cases to mention. And as I shared a few moments ago, there is a great responsibility. But more than that, it presents an incredible opportunity. An opportunity for restoration. That's why I love this theme. I want to take it a little bit further. What I do understand is I want to ask the lawyers, are you prepared to answer the call to restoration? DeKalb Lawyers Association, DeKalb County was integral in every aspect of this country's election. We paid a price and we are vital to every aspect of society. I want you to understand, are you willing to answer that call? The greatest challenge that we face in America is answering the call as we move forward, because it can't be business as usual. It can't just be about the number of cases we win or the number of amounts of money that we gain from a verdict. It can't be about that anymore. A whole generation is looking to us and counting on us. We are the faces of justice. That's an awesome responsibility. That's about hope. You must have hope in something greater than what we see around us. I want to say to the scholarship recipients, those who hopefully will be lawyers, African American youth, you've witnessed circumstances around you that attempt to steal your hope at every turn. Yet a lot of adults stand here to say that you must keep your hope for your future. The challenges that we face are daunting. And I know that many of you are cynical about how things are, but you have to take into your hearts and minds today that you are the product of a legacy. Oh, are you a part of a legacy? Think back to those children who were born to enslavement, knowing that to be able to learn to read and write would mean death. But yet they pressed on and they continued on. We find ourselves in a national crisis like no other. Yes, an emergency of epidemic proportions, not just because of a virus, but because of the issue of racism. We've watched so many times protests in the streets, statues coming down. What's going to make it different this time? Restoration means restoring to what we had. Some of you will say, absolutely not. Yes, we will build back what was taken from us, but then we will rise to a higher calling because the responsibility is even greater. We have a self-determination. Frederick Douglass wrote about the importance of self-determination. Our destiny is largely in our own hands. If we find, we shall have to seek. If we succeed in the race of life, it must be on our own terms. What is our responsibility? DeKalb Lawyers Association, DeKalb Lawyers, the judiciary, the family, the members, the communities, young people. What is our responsibility? Well, it begins to understand that when I speak, I ought to make you proud. Because when one of us speak, we speak for all of us. You are able to do what you do because somebody paid a price. Now I need to say that to all of us who have a ball card or wear a robe. It is the honor of my life to be a member of the judiciary and to be a lawyer. It is the fulfillment of one of many of my destinies because I became a lawyer like maybe you did to represent those who are marginalized and disenfranchised because I believe in the law. But I believe in the law when it is applied equally to all of its citizens. You're able to do what you do today because somebody paid a price a long time ago so that you could have the choice of having a better life. We have to understand how to be respectful of one another. Can't be the leaders that we've been called to be. I'm speaking now to those who will be sworn in on this board. Unless you stay excited and accomplish a purpose, get behind the president, work as a team for greatness, for justice, and for equality. I want you to know who we are and whose we are. Do not be ashamed of where we've come from. It is never what people call us, but it is what God has declared over us. I believe that with everything that I have. Our self-identity is tied to justice. Our freedom is tied to justice. The year of restoration, oh, you bet. No more will we engage in intellectual genocide, arguing and debating about the issues of racism when we know that they are there. We move forward by telling the truth. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our community. We owe it to those who are not quite there yet. We owe it to educate them. And the law gives us that opportunity to do that. I want to thank you for this opportunity. Again, I want to congratulate my mentee, Attorney Erica Wilson. I am so very proud of you, and I'm proud of all of those who give themselves to serve in a capacity on this board. But more importantly, I am proud of the young people who believe and continue to dream big dreams. I was that little girl that I had a mother and a grandmother that believed in me, but I served a God that saw something in me before I could see it in myself. I remind you of this, as the prophet Amos said, but let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. The waters of justice and equality are in your hands. DeKalb Lawyers Association, do what you have been called to do. Walk where you've been called to walk. And navigate the waters of justice. We're counting on you. Thank you again.
All right, good morning, everybody. I am Chief Judge Asha Jackson. I am the Chief Judge of the DeKalb Superior Court, and I'm very honored to be with everyone here this morning. This is such a different environment to be virtual, but wow, what a wonderful and innovative time that we are in right now in our country and in our county. We just underwent an election. We're undergoing a recount today. And I'm sure you've seen some of the news footage with all of the citizens that are waiting with bated breath to see what is going to happen in this next year as we weather this pandemic and how to best provide justice in this virtual environment. So there's no better time than this to really think about leadership and what that means in this environment. And I'm just so excited that we get to celebrate with not just our future leaders, the law students who receive scholarships today. Congratulations to all of you, but to welcome our new officers into the fold for the DeKalb Lawyers Association. What an important organization to our community and to the justice system. So let me first say congratulations to Charles Simmons. You have a special place in my heart. His sister is my staff attorney. What a great year you had as you weathered this pandemic, providing programming and service to the community. And I want to also thank you, as well as your entire executive board, for the work that you've done. It's a tremendous, tremendous undertaking because you had to program when we were not virtual, and then again when we found ourselves in this new environment. So congratulations to you. And today we are celebrating bringing in, yeah, that's right, clap. You got to raise your hands in the camera so that they can see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are indeed excited to welcome in the new executive board to swear in those officers, and then also to swear in our new incoming president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. So without further ado, and before we have any technical issues, I'm going to first ask the members of the incoming executive board to please raise your right hand so that we can see it on the screen. And I will state the oath and ask that you will repeat after me, please. I, and state your name.
I, Nicole Thomas,
having been duly elected to the position of, and you can insert the position.
having been duly elected to the position of President-elect,
Secretary. We heard all of those positions for the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
For the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
That I am qualified to hold.
That I am qualified to hold.
Such office.
Such office.
Under the bylaws of the organization.
Under the bylaws of the organization.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the official duties.
Discharge the official duties.
Of the office of the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Of the office of the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
On which I am about.
On which I am about.
to enter
to enter
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You can lower your hands. Congratulations to the new incoming board. We certainly look forward to the service, the uniqueness, the innovativeness, and the passion that you will bring to this organization and to the community. And now, without further ado, we are here to honor, support, uplift, and swear in our new incoming president, Madam Erica Wilson. Are you ready to take the oath of office?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, we are just so excited. Erica, you have been a very diligent public servant, a very diligent lawyer. You have appeared before many of us with grace and with dignity and with determination. And you are called for such a time as this. And so we are very excited to welcome you, to lift you up as the leader of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, to accept and support the agenda that you have for this programming and service year. And we just can't wait to see that what you will do during a time that is incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging, but you are up to the task. And so we're here to support you. And at this time, I'm going to ask you to please raise your right hand. I, and state your name.
Erica Wilson.
Having been duly elected to the position of president.
Having been duly elected to the position of president.
For the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
For the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
That I am qualified to hold such office.
That I am qualified to hold such office.
Under the bylaws of the organization.
Under the bylaws of the organization.
And that I will well and faithfully.
That I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the official duties.
Discharge the official duties.
Of the office of the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Of the office of the DeKalb Lawyers Association.
Upon which I am about to enter.
Upon which I am about to enter.
To the best of my ability and understanding.
To the best of my ability and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And as an order of my first official business as president, I too would like to congratulate Charles. Thank you for a job well done. When it was time to extend your leadership during the pandemic, you did not hesitate to do so. It has certainly been an honor and a pleasure being able to serve as your president-elect. And I still look forward to working with you on the board as now the official immediate past president, Charles. So thank you very much.
I appreciate your kind words, and I know we're in great leadership, great hands, moving into this new era.
Thank you.
Attorney Erica Wilson is the current president-elect of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. She serves on the board of directors for the foundation of the Georgia Association of Black Women Attorneys. Attorney Wilson is the owner and managing attorney of the law offices of Erica Wilson, a boutique law firm with offices in both Decatur and Atlanta, Georgia. An expert in family and child welfare law, she spent 5 years in the classroom before opening her own practice. Her passion for helping disadvantaged families in need is exactly what prompted her to dedicate her law practice to representing children and families after children are removed from their home and placed into foster care. Today, Attorney Wilson dedicates her practice to restoring families and creating permanency for children in their homes.
From when she was a little girl, she dreamed of being an attorney. She is a quintessential lawyer. Everything about her, she understands the honor of being a lawyer.
Committed to giving back, Attorney Wilson dedicates her time outside of the courtroom to multiple organizations serving her community.
She adheres to the principle, to whom much is given, much is required. Much is required in the way that she prepares herself for her cases. She takes it very seriously. She doesn't take the privilege and honor of being a lawyer for granted.
A force to be reckoned with, Attorney Wilson takes her role as a voice for those in need seriously. She always zealously advocates for her clients.
She epitomizes advocacy.
Her passion for helping children and families makes Attorney Wilson a formidable opponent in the courtroom.
Attorney Wilson is the type of lawyer that makes other lawyers better.
She deserves this because she is everything that a mentor could want in a younger lawyer.
I am so very honored to having been sworn in as the 36th president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. But I was speaking with a friend the other morning, and she mentioned, aren't you disappointed that you have to serve your presidency during a pandemic? You don't get to have all those wonderful events that you had planned and that you had talked about. And while certainly, yes, I won't be able to do all of the things face-to-face that I had planned, but the good thing is this pandemic itself has forced me to reimagine how I do everything. So my presidency will be no different. It has stretched me beyond the bounds of what I thought I could do. And for that, I am grateful and I accept the challenge. With that said, I am so very excited to announce my 4 key initiatives for my administration. For my first key initiative, I am so very proud to announce that I have sought and advocated for the DeKalb Lawyers Association to be able to join the Judicial Nominating Commission. It has been confirmed and approved that we will now contribute to the judicial selection process for judges who will take the bench throughout Georgia. My second key initiative is to create a judicial section of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. While I am not a judge yet, I felt it important that we have a separate section for judges so that they can provide support and guidance to us, and we as an organization can be able to provide support to them as well. I am excited about the creation of this judicial selection, and I am looking forward to working with the judges as well as the founding members of this section to collaborate on how we can make the organization stronger. My third key initiative is the creation of a response to COVID task force. Given that we are still in a pandemic, there are so many issues as it relates to attorneys. And not only that, as we get ready to transition, hopefully one day soon, back into the courtroom, there are many things that need to be discussed. The purpose of this task force is to create a dialogue between all the stakeholders in the legal community such that we can be able to navigate this pandemic safely and effectively while still maintaining the integrity of the law. The purpose of this task force is to create a dialogue between lawyers and judges and other legal stakeholders so that we can all collaborate and come up with creative and innovative solutions as we all figure out how to navigate through this pandemic. We want to be able to make sure that not only that we can practice law, but we can also maintain the integrity of the law while doing so safely. My fourth initiative is the creation of the Restorative Justice Task Force. In keeping with this year's theme, which is the Year of Restoration, during my administration, I intend to make best efforts to work with all of the legal community and all the legal stakeholders to be able to restore not only justice, but also restore faith in the legal community. The fact that right now, during these times, that faith and hope is lost in the legal system itself is not lost on me. So therefore, it is incumbent upon me as the 36th president of a legal organization to ensure that we continue to maintain the integrity of the legal profession. With that said, I want to start by thanking and acknowledging those who have already answered the call. When I asked, it was an emphatic yes, and I'm so very honored that they are willing to serve this organization. First, I want to thank my mentor, legal icon, and former jurist, Judge Penny Brown Reynolds. She will also chair this committee with legal warrior and past president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, Maui Davis. In addition to Judge Penny Brown Reynolds and Maui Davis spearheading this organization, they will be joined by Attorney Justin Miller, the law partner of Chris Stewart, our Legal Warrior Award recipient, as well as Miguel Dominguez, another former past president of DeKalb Lawyers Association. Because it is important to have a diverse group for a task force such as this, we will also have the newly elected Sheriff Melody Maddox, as well as other community stakeholders such as the Clerk of Court for DeKalb County Superior Court, Deborah DeBerry, and Attorney Brian Gaither. They will lead this task force. They will help create a dialogue on what we can do as a community, not only the legal profession, to help restore faith that is lost into the legal system. And as I transition into the position as the 36th president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association, I would be remiss to not acknowledge Judge Clarence Seeliger for his retirement. I want to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to this organization. You have served with integrity for over 40 years, and for that, we are grateful. You have brought honor and integrity to this profession. I can honestly say, as a new attorney, you always treated everyone in the courthouse with the same level of respect. It did not matter if they were another judge. It did not matter if they were an attorney. It did not matter if they were taking out the trash. You treated everyone with honor and respect. And for that, today, we honor you. And as we get ready to honor my friend, Attorney L. Chris Stewart, I want to personally say how so very proud I am of you. Right now, given today's climate, there is no one more deserving of this award. Congratulations, Chris. I just want to say thank you again for joining us here today. I cannot wait for the world to open back up and we can all meet face to face. Until then, we will continue to meet virtually so we can do so safely from the comfort of our homes. It is my hope that I can make this organization proud as the 36th president. I truly believe that a good leader is a leader who knows the way, a leader who shows the way, and a leader who goes the way. And it is my hope that with the help of the board of directors, that we will be able to lead the way to justice and integrity. Thank you.
Attorney L. Chris Stewart is the managing partner of Stewart Miller Simmons Trial Attorneys, a serious injury and wrongful death law firm. Born and raised in Southwest Atlanta, he is extremely active in the Atlanta community and serves on the board for the historic Southern Center for Human Rights. A member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Attorney Stewart graduated with honors from Xavier University with a degree in English. He earned a Master's of Science in Public Health from Tulane University and a Juris Doctorate from Howard University School of Law. Following his mantra, "Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough," Attorney Stewart has won numerous record-setting jury verdicts. Making history, Attorney Stewart won the first $1 billion jury verdict for a rape victim. A modern-day civil rights leader, Attorney Stewart is now the face of the new civil rights movement. Standing at the forefront of this year's most prominent cases, Attorney Stewart made a name for himself with his representation of the families of some of the most famous civil rights cases of this century, including Walter Scott, Alton Sterling, Gregory Towns, Chase Sherman, DeAndre Phillips, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Rayshard Brooks. One of the most decorated African American lawyers in the country, Attorney Stewart has received numerous awards that include the Julia Humbles Civil Rights Award, the Wiley Branton Award for Leadership, the Outstanding Citizen Award for the state of Georgia, the Georgia Senate Outstanding Public Service Proclamation, the Pinnacle Leadership Award, the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus Chairman's Award, the Esquire Award, the R.E. Thomas Civil Rights Award, and the first and only African American voted Attorney of the Year for the state of Georgia. Attorney Stewart has been featured in international media, including CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, The New York Times, Fox News, Good Morning America, The Today Show, Forbes, and he is a contributor on various media outlets. His dedication to making the legal profession better led Attorney Stewart to start a trial academy where he mentors attorneys throughout the nation. Family, faith, justice are the principles on which his firm was established, and those principles are what continues to drive him today. We are honored to recognize a legal titan of our time, Attorney L. Chris Stewart.
Well, it is just such a pleasure for me to be able to recognize, acknowledge, and salute Chris Stewart for receiving the Mowley Davis Legal Warrior Award. You talk about a warrior. Mr. Davis is a warrior, one of the original warriors here in the Atlanta metropolitan area. And so for Chris, who I consider to be my child in the profession, to receive this award is an honor beyond all honors. And it's just wonderful for me as a mother in the profession, although I just call him my mother, although we know that I'm too young to have a child his age. But for me to be able to sit here and see Chris's evolution is just fabulous, just fantastic. I met him when he was after his first year at Howard University School of Law. He was a clerk at the Gary firm, and I was a partner there at the time, and he was fantastic. We knew he was going to be a superstar when he interviewed. And so to see his trajectory, his rise, his passion, his tenacity, his skill set as a trial lawyer, and what's inside his heart, that is what distinguishes Chris from so many talented lawyers and trial lawyers, is that he has a heart. He cares. He cares about his clients. He cares about his community. He cares about his family. And so it is just so fitting for him to receive this award because he's a caring warrior. Let's make no mistake about it. That $1 billion verdict, that is a reflection of the fact that he's a warrior. He leaves no stones unturned, he refuses to be denied, and he really, truly walks in the path of the one and only Willie Gary as a trial lawyer, who I had many, many years, and I still try cases with him, but many, many years I served as one of his law partners and headed one of his most lucrative law practices. So to Chris, I salute you. I'm proud of you. Keep on making us proud. Keep on taking one step at a time to change the world, because that indeed is what you have done. I salute you and I love you.
This is Attorney Justin Miller from Stewart Miller Simmons Trial Attorneys, and I'm delighted today to speak about my friend Chris Stewart, who is receiving the Trailblazer Award from the DeKalb Lawyers Association. Chris has been a pillar in the community and really a leader in the civil rights community probably since I met him. And it's funny because now that, you know, a lot of these big cases that our firm is getting, the George Floyd case, the Rayshard Brooks case, working on the Ahmaud Arbery case, I mean, all of those things are coming at the perfect time, because I know that with Chris's previous work, he is the person to help lead these cases and get justice for these families and these people. And I think that now, you know, a lot more people are seeing that they can do family law and civil rights, or criminal law and civil rights, personal injury and civil rights, or whatever, because civil rights law is something that all lawyers should be a part of and should have a kind of zest for and a fire for, because we can all help in our own way. So I feel like this award is overdue. I appreciate the DeKalb Lawyers Association for allowing me to share some of my thoughts about Chris, my partner and my friend. They couldn't have given the Trailblazer Award to a better person. So congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, DeKalb Lawyers Association. You couldn't have chosen a finer recipient of this award. And thank you for allowing me to share some of my stories and insights.
Mauli Davis, past president of the DeKalb Lawyers Association. Just want to congratulate you, Chris. You have worked hard, you have been determined, you have been courageous. And it's interesting that we don't often use the term courage when we refer to lawyers. But thankfully, we're able to do that when it comes to you, that you have not at all backed away or shied away from the very dangerous work that we do and that you do. And so we're grateful for your courage, your character, and just want you to continue to build and grow. And it's just been beautiful watching you build in the ways that you believe is best in the best interest of our people. And so we encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep fighting the good fight, knowing that we're in a mighty tradition of those who have come before us as we pave a way for those who will come after us. So thank you, God bless you, congratulations, and keep fighting a good fight.
We are just so proud and honored to be here today to honor a comrade of mine and also a dear friend in Chris Stewart. You know, we're living in a time, obviously, where the need for lawyers to step up and make themselves available to the community as our people are suffering at the hands of police brutality, excessive force cases, and a legislator and laws all around the country that are being written and crafted to the detriment of our people. It is so important that we have attorneys that step up for the right reasons and represent our people on these issues. And Chris Stewart is a great example of that. You know, it's one thing for someone to be able to grab a bullhorn and march on the street, and that's also important. But in addition to that, what our people require are skilled and excellent attorneys who have a grasp of the complexities of the law surrounding these issues and are able to go into court and convince a jury of our peers in our community as to what justice looks like and be able to deliver justice to our clients who are in need. And Chris Stewart is that person. And he also has been able to do so while conducting himself with the highest ethical standards. And for that, we salute him here today, and we celebrate all of his success that he's had around the country representing the victims of police brutality. And so kudos, Chris, we're proud of you, and keep up the great work. And we look forward to seeing many more successes from you and your great firm. We're so proud to be here this morning, and we appreciate everyone who's in attendance. This is a very special award for us, for Molly, myself, and DeKalb Lawyers Association. We wanted to address a need that we found in the practice of law, where we're in an industry where typically trial results, success in the courtroom are recognized by different organizations in the practice of law. However, we felt that there was a void in really bringing attention and honoring those attorneys who every day in their normal practice commit themselves to the community, commit themselves to operating under the highest ethical standards, and are really trying to find different ways each day to do what we all hopefully went to law school to do, and that is to be a voice of the voiceless. And so today, it is with great honor that we are here in the offices of Chris Stewart, and we want to recognize him for the work that he's done. And for that, I'll turn it over to Molly M. Davis, who the award is named after.
Chris, this is really interesting that we would stand in this moment, the opportunities that we've had to talk back in the day, and for you really to be in a position to help change and transform not just Georgia, but the country. And you've done it with great courage. We know the threats that have come against you, but you have not been wavered or deterred by those threats, and you've continued to press forward. And because of that, people all over the country have recognized you as a legal warrior. And so we believe that it is most fitting that here at home, we recognize you as the legal warrior that you have evolved into and you continue to be as you continue to fight for the people. So we appreciate you. We wish you all the best and know that you're covered by all of us with our prayers, our hopes, and our aspirations, so that one day the fight that we're all fighting will no longer be necessary. Congratulations, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
And I'll read it. It is in honor of your fearless commitment to excellence, social justice, community service, and the highest ethical standards, awarded to L. Chris Stewart, 2020.
First, I want to take a moment to thank the DeKalb Lawyers Association for such a huge honor. We always talk about we don't do this for awards or accolades. We do it for the people, and this is a great reminder, especially for who it's named after. So I want to thank Attorney Davis and Attorney Dominguez, who are behind me, but to receive a award for just fighting for the people, and an award named after the blueprint of a person who fights for the people is huge. So I want to thank y'all for this honor, and we'll keep fighting.